Let's talk about the Conjuring Universe. With the new The Conjuring Last Rites movie coming, I just want to talk about every single movie from this franchise, since I'm a horror fan and The Conjuring is one of my favorite horror movies. Unfortunately, that can't be said with some of the spin-offs, so dive deep into the terror and fear of the Conjuring universe. So the first movie, so obviously The Conjuring, came out in 2013, and directed by James Wan. This movie is supposedly based on a true story. Is it really though? What do you guys think? Comment down below if you think this was all real. Anyways, a family moves into their new home in Harrisville, Rhode Island in 1971. While settling into their new home, they encounter some unexplained stuff happening in their house. When the paranormal shit starts getting too aggressive and dangerous, they call up paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren for help. This movie was wild, I'm not gonna lie, I saw this movie when I was 15, it scared the shit out of me. Looking back at it now as a 25-year-old grown-ass man, it still is pretty scary. Not as scary as when I was younger. But I appreciate the creepy atmosphere, the incredible acting from everyone. Everyone looked terrified and good directing by James Wan. I think James Wan is great when it comes to horror, however, his action stuff can be up for debate. I think he should have directed all the movies in the Conjuring universe because unfortunately the next movie wasn't as good. Which brings me to the next on the list, Annabelle. This movie was boring, acting was dumb, and wasn't as scary as The Conjuring with a few exceptions. Look, I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember a lot from this movie, but what I do remember is this woman bought this creepy-ass Annabelle doll and her husband looked at her like she was crazy as fuck. So after encountering some paranormal shit, she decided she wanted to get rid of the doll, but for some fucking reason she wanted it back. I don't know if the demon was telling her not to throw it away, or it was just terrible writing, which is honestly scarier than the demon itself. This movie had one scary scene in the movie, and that was the basement scene. That scene was actually pretty creepy. Felt like it was directed by someone else. So yeah, this movie wasn't that good, couple of creepy moments, but it was mostly boring. Now thank God James Wan is back to direct The Conjuring 2. This movie was much better than Annabelle. So, family in Enfield, England starts getting terrorized by a demon, so Ed and Lorraine Warren went to investigate over there. This movie was pretty effective, nice creepy camera angles, creepy atmosphere, actually decent acting, and once again good directing. I also found it interesting on the skeptic side, whether or not she could be faking it. So, yeah, I definitely enjoyed this one. It wasn't as scary as the first Conjuring movie, but it still had good scares to make you afraid of the dark when you're driving home at night. Now this one was a surprising one. I was skeptical due to the first Annabelle movie being bad. Annabelle Creation was actually pretty good. It actually scared the shit out of me. So it's about these orphaned girls and a nun move into a California farmhouse, and of course terrifying stuff starts happening. Look, it sounds cliche, but this movie was actually pretty damn scary and the acting was really good. The girl who was getting tormented the most had the best acting, so yeah, I'd recommend one. It sure was a scary surprise. Okay, here we go. This is where the Conjuring universe falls flat. As much as the demon from The Conjuring 2 was an effective scary character, in the Nun movie itself, it's not. This movie was forgettable. It had a couple of creepy imagery moments, but other than that, the movie was boring, badly written, and not that scary. It's hard to remember what happened. All I know is that it takes place in a church, demon nun haunts the church, and the ending reminded me of Dark Souls or some game. Don't really recommend this one. Is the Curse of La Llorona part of the Conjuring universe? I read that it was, then it wasn't, and like, the creators said it is, but the directors said it isn't. Is this even based on a true story anymore? Seems like they're just making stuff up at this point for that box office pocket change. Anyways, next is another forgettable movie, Annabelle Comes Home. What exactly happened? Okay, so the Warrens keep Annabelle locked away, it gets out somehow and starts haunting the house. But guess what, the Warrens are barely in the movie, so instead we focus on their daughter and her dumbass friends. I don't remember a lot from this movie. I saw it once and thought this movie was the horror version of The Avengers. Annabelle gathering up all her supernatural team to haunt and I guess possess the girl. I really don't remember how this movie ended, just that it's over. Oh boy, why didn't James Wan stay on the Conjuring movies? Cause The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It was just meh. It wasn't super terrible, but definitely not as good as the previous Conjuring movies. So basically, Ed and Lorraine Warren investigate this witch coven, I believe. Oh, and a teenager gets possessed. That's literally all I remember from this movie. You see how these movies are started to be more forgettable, even a damn Conjuring movie. This movie was more interesting than scary, which was okay, but I go into these movies hoping to be scared because that's what the movie sells us on. It just wasn't. Wasn't the worst movie, it was kinda interesting, but I think this franchise should end if a Conjuring movie wasn't even that scary or good. But nope, they said we need to milk this franchise because people like being scared, or more like they're scared of losing money. That's where The Nun 2 comes in. This movie was absolutely the most terrifying, boring movie. It's just as boring as the first one. Again, couple of creepy imagery here and there, but the plot is not good. This movie came out a couple years ago and it's that forgettable. Crazy how I can still remember a movie 12 years ago, but not this one which came out 2 years ago. So there you have it, The Conjuring Last Rites is up next, comes out September 5th. Will this be good though? But I don't know, judging from the trailer it just seems interesting again and not too scary, and judging from the latest movies in this universe I have my doubts. With it being directed by the same dude who directed The Curse of La Llorona, I don't know, pretty skeptical. But I'm willing to give a shot for the final Conjuring movie. Or so they say. I guess we'll see when it comes out. What do you guys think? Will it be good or another milked, boring movie? Comment down below your thoughts, like this video if you think this was enjoyable, and subscribe for more discussions. Yeah, I know I'm using AI, it's all for fun, my N-words.